Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tado Jayam Udirayet Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevayam Bhagatya Uttama Sloke Bhakti Bhavati Naistiki. Okay, reading from Bhagavadam, 6th canto, 14th chapter, 6th sloka. One second. It's very small. 6. I think some 2-3 slokas will do. But it doesn't have much. 9. Till 10th we'll do. Okay, you all recite 10th sloka. I will do till 10th actually. Okay. Thank you. Okay. वृत्रस्तु सा कथं पापः सर्वलोकोपतापनः इत्थं धृतामति कृष्णा आशीर्षङ्ग्रमा उल्पने. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. Vrikshasura was situated in the blazing fire of battle and was an infamous sinful demon, always engaged in giving troubles and anxieties to others. How could such a demon become so greatly Krishna conscious? Purport. It has been described that a Narayana Parayana, a pure devotee, is rarely found even among millions and millions of persons. Therefore, Parshit Maharaj was surprised that Vrikshasura, whose purpose was to give trouble and anxiety to others, was one of these devotees even on the battlefield. What was the reason for Vrikshasura's advancement? अत्र नासंशयो भूयान् चोत्रुं कौतूहलं प्रभो यः पौषेण समारे सहस्रक्षम् अतुषयात्. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. My dear Lord Sukadeva Goswami, although Vrikshasura was a sinful demon, he showed the powers of the most exalted Kshatriya and satisfied Lord Indira in battle. How could such a demon be a great devotee of Lord Krishna? These contradictions have caused me great doubt and they have made me eager to hear of this from you. Shishruta uvacha parikshito ata samprashnam Bhagavan Badarayanahi Nishamya Shraddadhanasya Pratinandya Vacho Abraved. Shishruta Goswami said, after hearing Maharaj Parikshit's very intelligent question, Sukadeva Goswami, the most powerful sage, began answering his disciple with great affection. Shishuka uvacha shunshvahatmahito rajan itihasham imam yata shrutam dvaipayana mukhan naradat devalat api. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Sri Shukadev Goswami said, O king, I shall speak to you the same history I have heard from the mouths of Vyasadeva, Narada and Devla. Please listen with attention. आशित् राजा सार्वभौमा सूरसेनेषु वै नृपा चित्रकेतुरिति ख्यातो यस्यासीत् कामधुन्मही. Yes, Venkata Narasimha Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Siddhraja Sarvabhauma Swaraseneshu Vainrupa Chitraketuriti Kyato Yasyasit Kamadugnahi. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Suramya Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Asid Raja Sarvabhaumah Shuraseneshu Vainrupa Chitraketuriti Kyato Yasyasit Kamadhumahi. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Madhumai Krishnakant Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Pranams Mataji.
Pranams.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Asid Raja Sarvabhaumah Shuraseneshu Vainrupa Chitraketur iti kyato Yasyasit Kamadungmayi. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Chitra Mohini Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Pranams Mataji.
Pranams Mataji.
Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Asid Raja Sarvabhaumah Shuraseneshu Vainrupa Chitraketuriti Kyato Yasyasit Kamadugmahi. Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Usha Dayavati Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Pranams Mataji. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Asit Raja Sarvabhaumah Surasena Vainrupa Chitraketur iti kiyato Yasyasit Kamadugmahi. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Prananandini Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण माताजी प्रणाम माताजी
Pranams.
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय आसीद राजा सार्वभौम सुरसेने सुवैनृप चित्रकेतुर इति ख्यातो यशसित कामधुन्महि. हरे कृष्ण माताजी. थैंक यू माताजी.
Thank you, Mataji. Madhusoni Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण माताजी दंडवत प्रणाम माताजी.
Pranams.
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय आसीद् राजा सार्वभौमः सूरसेनेषु वैनृपा चित्रकेतुरिति ख्यातो यस्यासीत् कामधूमहि. थैंक यू माताजी. हरे कृष्ण.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Revati Ratnani Mataji.
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय असित राजा सर्वभावुमः सुर्वेशेन शुभैर्नृपा चित्रकेतुरिति ख्यातो यस्यासीत् कामधुमहि. हरे कृष्ण माताजी. थैंक यू वेरी मच.
Thank you, Mataji. Uttama Padma Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Asit Raja Sarvabhaumah Suraseneshu Vainrupa Chitraketu iti kyato Yasyasit Kamadunmahi. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Asit Raja Sarvabhauma Suraseneshu Vainrupa Chitraketuriti Kyato Yashyashit Kamadunmahi. Synonyms. Ashit, there was Raja, one king. Sarvabhauma, an emperor of the entire surface of globe. Suraseneshu, in the country known as Surashena. Why, indeed, Nripa, O king, Chitraketu. Iti, thus, Kyahata, celebrated. Asia, of whom Asit was. Kamaduk, supplying all the necessities. Mahi, the earth. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. O King Parikshit, in the province of Shurashena, there was a king named Chitraketu, who ruled the entire earth. During his reign, the earth produced all the necessities for life. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Here, the most significant statement is that the earth completely produced all the necessities of life during the time of King Chitraketu. As stated in Ishopanishad, Ishavashyam idam sharvam yatkincha jagatyam jagat tena tvaktena bunjeta makrada kashya svadanam. So everything animate and inanimate that is within this unit. That means we are moving and non-moving, whatever the objects it may be here, the living entities, that is the matter, spirit, whatever is there. So within this universe is controlled and owned by the Lord. One should therefore accept only those things necessary for himself, which are set aside as his quota, and one should not accept others' things, knowing well to whom they belong. Krishna, the supreme controller, has created the material world, which is completely perfect and free from scarcity. The Lord supplies the necessity of all living entities. These necessities come from the earth, and thus the earth is the source of supply. When there is a good ruler, that source produces the necessities of life abundantly. However, when there is not such a great ruler, there will be scarcity. This is a significant word, kamadhuk. Elsewhere in Srimad Bhagavadam, that is first canto 10th chapter, 4th sloka, kamam vavarsha parjanya sarva kama tukamahi. During the reign of Maharaj Yudhishthira, the clouds showered all water that people needed, and the earth produced all the necessities of men in profusion. We have experienced that in some seasons the rains produce abundance, and in other seasons there is scarcity. We have no control over the earth productiveness, for it is naturally under the full control of Supreme Personality of Godhead. By His order, the Lord can make the earth produce sufficiently or insufficiently. If a pious king rules the earth according to the Sastric injunctions, there will be naturally a regular rainfall and sufficient produce to provide for all men. So that production will be as much as we need. There will be no question of exploitation, for everyone will have enough. Black marketing and other corrupt dealings will then automatically stop. Simply ruling the land cannot solve man's problems until the leader has spiritual capabilities. He must be like Maharaj Yudhishthira, Parishit Maharaj, or Lord Ramchandra. Then all the inhabitants of the land will be extremely happy. Okay. Om Ajnanati Mirandasya Jnananjanaya Shalakaya Shakshurunmilitam Yena Tashmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamayam Tadati Swapadandikam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radhakanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanushute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpadarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vashadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So we are reading from Bhagavadam 6th canto, which defines the prescribed duties of mankind, and the 14th chapter being King Chitraketu's lamentation. So now the question has been asked by Parishit Maharaj about Vrikshasura. In the battlefield between Indra and Vrikshasura, so the demonic qualities, or the original qualities will be always there now. So but it was very much astonishing from hearing from Sukadeva Goswami about the pure devotee qualification internally possessed by Chitra, that is a demon, Rikshasura, wherein the external being a demonic form. So, an Ashura will have the Ashura qualities only. So, even he was actually troubling the people. That qualities was there. He was not famous. He was a sinful demon. Very nicely, it has been the adjectives has been given here by the king. Parishit Maharaj is speaking about what are the characteristics of a demon in general. So even Vrikshasura was having, he was not a famous demon, and he was situated in a blazing fire of battle. That means how much rigor the battle would be. So there had been a war between Devatas and Asuras. It was a that is the rigor actually. And always engage in giving troubles and anxiety. A demonic quality will always produce trouble to others, and then the people will be in more anxiety. So how could such a demon be so greatly Krishna conscious? Then how actually he was performing as a pure devotee? That means he was actually encouraging King Indira to wage the war, take up the thunderbolt and fight. Have confidence that weapon is with that weapon you can kill me. Wage the war. He was encouraging, and he played a spiritual master role also. How it could be possible? That was the doubt actually for Parishit Maharaj. So it has been described, I think, in the previous verse yesterday. Mataji was explaining very nicely, Narayana Parayana. That means it defines the characteristics of a pure devotee who always be in trance with the Lord actually. So that is very rarely found. We have Manushyanam Sahasreshu, correct? Na? There is a sloka in Bhagavad Gita. There may be millions and millions of people who will try to become perfect actually, wherein out of such perfectional people also, it may be in thousands also, one will be rarely knowing about the Supreme Lord. So it is the mercy of the Lord which will shower on the devotee, wherein he will be able to understand. So without being mercy of the Lord, we will not be able to understand about the Lord. So therefore Parishit Maharaj was surprised in the demon body how Vrikshasura was speaking so saintly. So he was giving trouble. Okay, but he is playing the role as a warrior in the field. He is playing the role. He want to wage the war in favor of demon, but still he was encouraging King Indira. So what was the reason? That means how he became an advancement in the spiritual, and how he has been speaking on the platform of a advanced devotee or a pure devotee. So that doubt he had, King Parikshit, and then he is asking. For that, Sukadeva Goswami is speaking as follows. So he has taken a role of a demon, and then he has to show the Paurish actually to win the war against the Asuras. And but we being that is in the role of a Kshatriya, is playing a role of a Kshatriya, and he satisfied Indra in battle in saying that that means a great war has been happening, and then there was a very tough fight. So for a warrior, actually the fighting should be in a Paurush way. So in that way also he satisfied Indra, and then he has simultaneously he was giving the advice also. So how could such a demon be a great lord? This contradiction was was great, caused great doubt. Sorry, this was been spoken by Parishit Maharaj itself in continuation with the previous sloka, and then he wants to listen from. Now he is ready to hear Shravanam. He wants to do from Shukadeva Goswami. Now Suta Goswami here he has been addressing. Actually, he is addressing to whom? The Rishi Muni is headed by Saunaka Rishi. And then he is quoting what was the question asked by Parishit Maharaj, and then next to what Shukadeva Goswami is going to give the reply. That context. See, as we have to understand, Bhagavadam is not it has been spoken here not as in the form of a sequential manner. It is not one after another. Those are the conversations between the speaker and the listener actually. So the great souls, the pure devotees, there is a conversation like how Bhagavad Gita has been spoken by Supreme Lord to Arjuna, great devotee Arjuna. So whatever the doubts Arjuna was having, he was putting questions in front of, was submissively asking. to the that is Supreme Lord, and then Krishna also has been replying. In that way, similarly, these are all the sequences or the incidences which has happened or the history has happened and at different places. And then when the listener is asking questions, the speaker is also narrating here. So with that reference here, the Sutta Goswami has been addressed here as he has been communicating this information to Saunaka, the Rishi Munis at Naimisharanya, headed by Saunaka Rishi. So Sutta Goswami was mentioning to Saunaka Rishi and team here, after hearing Parishit Maharaj's linguistic question, very intelligent question. It's not a that is a what is mundane questions actually. Entire Bhagavadam is full Amilam Puranam. Na? It is a part of like bhakti, and then the activities made by, that is what are the activities involved by the Bhagavatas, and then how they released the bhakti yoga, and then how they submitted the prayers, and then how they received benedictions, all those things we are reading in Bhagavatam. So all the questions has been asked here, it is for the people in general. If they recite this, they will also come to know what was the intelligent question spoken by the great devotee, and then in turn what reply they have got and how they can apply in their life. So the reading of Bhagavatam is meant for us, wherein every day we are performing some activities in day-to-day chores, and then how we can apply this thought process in our day-to-day life. That should be the lesson learned after reading Srimad Bhagavatam. So the conversation between the great people is being spoken by Sutta Goswami to Shaunaka Rishi. So Sukadeva Goswami, the most powerful sage, how actually he has been glorified here. So began answering his disciple now with a great affection. So because it was a very good question, and then Sukadeva Goswami started to speak, okay, to Parishit Maharaj. Okay, I shall speak out to you the same history. So the history which he had heard from his father Vyasadeva, and he is quoting here Narada Devala. The same thing we have also seen in what is that, Bhagavad Gita also. Correct na? Asito Devalo Swayam Bhagavan is speaking. Even Arjuna is referring there. That means he has heard that Narada also has spoken about this Bhagavatam. Devala also has spoken about this Bhagavatam. And then he has directly heard from his father and the spiritual master Vyasadeva. So please listen with attention. So we should always hear, the Shravanam should be with rapt attention. Then only the subject matter, whatever is been spoken, will be understood as we have hearing. Yatha aditam yatha matihi. So as spoken, we will be able to understand and follow the things. So basically, why we hear? After hearing what we are doing, we have to implement also. If we are not doing the application of the knowledge, then it is only the knowledge you are gaining. It is not the realization one will be achieving. Now, the glorification, that means now the story of Chitraketu is been spoken by Sukadeva Goswami. He is speaking about the quality of a saintly king here. That's what we have to see. We have seen many saintly kings like Janaka, we have heard in Bhagavad Gita also, even the Supreme Personality of Godhead is referring. So when Bhagavan also came as Ramchandra Murthy, he also ruled this world, okay, so as a saintly king. So the saintly kings, why we need the saintly kings actually? Why the normal kings cannot rule the country? Is there any difference actually? Can anyone speak out? Why the qualification has to be mandatory? Hare Krishna. Am I audible?
Yes, Mataji, you are audible. Yes.
Why we need the qualification, and why this qualification is so important?
Because they will treat the kingdom as bestowed upon them by the Lord, not his own property. So that way he will be detached also, and he will be ruling the country as a duty,
Yes.
not for his means Indriya Bhog.
Yes.
not for his
Wonderful.
sense gratification.
Very nice.
Also, also he will evoke the Lord's mercy for the subjects. A normal king may not evoke Lord's mercy every day, but he will leave it be at the feet of the Lord and submit his kingdom at the feet of the Lord and ask his mercy for the betterment and righteousness, dharma and all.
Yes, yes. So, dharmo rakshita rakshitaha, correct na? So, when we follow dharma, the dharma will protect us. Okay. The ruling person should follow dharma. In Kali Yuga, we cannot expect that. That is not at all possible. Correct na? So, here we can see the possible goodness in the people only. That much only we can see. Who is having more percentage of goodness? That only we have to see and vote. So we cannot expect 100% goodness in a people in Kali Yuga. Whereas till Dwapar Yuga, we can able to see the saintly kings. So even Maharaja Santanu being a saintly king. And then next, whatever the ruling happened under the guidance of Bhishma Pitamaha, he being a Mahajana, and then he guided, he made the subjects in the to be in the, that is the with respect to the quality, and then whatever the how the king rules, whatever the qualities the king possesses, he will be implementing. Right now, the saintly kings will implementing the dharma, and then he will ensure that the subjects are also following the same. So that needs to be taken care. If that is not there, obviously, the kingdom will fall down, and then the downgrade in the society, everything happens, and then the 4 regulations will have an impact. There won't be any varnashrama dharma being followed. Even in Parshit Maharaj's regime also, we have seen in the first canto Bhagavadam. So he was punishing Kali, but in turn he rewarded also because he surrendered. So a person who has surrendered cannot be punished, but in turn he gave the shelter, and he ensured that those places were not in his that is in his province. Okay, so that type of ruling should be there. So even Yudhishthira Maharaj, after waging the war in Mahabharata, so Bhishma Pitamaha was advising about the administration. So a saintly person can only rule the kingdom in a peaceful way. The subjects will be protected, and then they will be living in peace. That's very important. And if the ruler is a saintly person, obviously the nature also will abide. The nature also will abide. And then when the rainfall has to fall, that time it will fall. How much it has to fall, that much it will fall. It won't be less, it won't be more. Because if it pours more, obviously it leads to again some troublesome things only. Because there will be some that means if overflows means water. So because of that overflow, many people will also be in the trouble. That is the life carrying things will be, for example, if they are in the very down phase of the society, that means that area will get flooded actually. Due to floods and all, they will have more impact how to survive in this world itself. And if there is no water, the drinking water also will become scarcity. So there is no insufficient or over requirement. So everyone will be having their sufficient things, and then because of that we can avoid this. What is that? If a person is self-sufficient, obviously he will not be thinking about other anchorings also. So he will be happy to survive here, and then following the whatever the guidance has been given by the ruler. So that sync up should be there between the ruler and the subjects. In that case, the kingdom will be in a very fertile way, and then there will be peace and harmony, and then everything will be taken care in a perfect way. Whereas if the environment is not perfect, and then if the ruler is also not perfect, and his implementation of the rules are also not favoring the subjects, obviously there will be a problem. So for that example, we can tell King Vena, we can tell, which we have studied in 4th canto. And what the other thing actually, even Duryodhana's thing also we can speak, because he was very much greed, and then he was not allowing Pandavas to survive only. He has sufficient, everything he was having sufficient. Still he doesn't like other, because of enviousness, he doesn't like Yudhishthira, that is Pandavas, to survive only. So like that, if a person is so much with the demonic characteristics, the ruling by such demonic characteristics will not lead a peaceful life in the society itself. So and then and they will fall down also. So here the qualities of Chitraketu also is glorified in the similar manner. Okay, he was ruling the province of Surasena, and then he was keeping the people in a peaceful peace and harmony. So they were having everything self-sufficient, and then the people survived in a great way. So here there is a sloka also in Isha Upanishad. Everything is a quota. Right? Everything is a quota. So whatever quota we have to get, we have been blessed by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, that 100% we'll receive. Okay, and we should not strive for the quota which is not belonging to us. More and more hankering to the worldly things one should not do. So that means there is no spiritual practice or the spiritual knowledge which gives them how much we have to earn and what we have to do, what is our duty, what is the primary goal of a living entity. Everything should be known. If that knowledge is lacking, obviously the person who is actually doing the economic development, correct now? He want to progress in the life, then he will be striving. Today, some 3 crores means then the next year he wants to do 10 crores and then 100 crores. And then he want to rule the entire kingdom. He will think that he is the doer. And then he will develop. For achieving this, he would have done so many sinful activities. It is not possible actually. If it is written in person's fate, that means as per the will of the Lord, means if he has to reach particular particular position or particular level, obviously he will be able to do. Okay, but if it is not there and then you are striving for that, it is not at all use. So, and one more thing, striving more for the material benefit will only make them entangled, and again he has to enter into the transmigration of soul process. So leaving this body and getting into another body and then suffer for the whatever actions has been performed in the previous janmas, everything he has to pass through. Okay, so he has to develop the knowledge. Who am I? What is the purpose of me here? So if he is able to understand that and submitting there is a devotional service to the lotus feet of the Lord, he will guide. As a Chaita Guru, internally for everyone, Bhagavan is there. And then his guidance we need to accept. So we should not overrule the guidance because of our desire, kama, krodha, lobha, moga, mada, makshara, especially makshara, that leads to the downfall of a person. So here actually the subjects of King Chitraketu has been compared, the ruling of Chitraketu has been compared with Yudhishthira Maharaj and that of Parishit Maharaj also. And then what are the benefits if a person being a saintly ruler? So there won't be any black market. I think we have this black marketing, black and white money, turning the black money into white money. So you can see some big buildings also coming, and then suddenly some big business will be coming on the road. How it came, who is doing, we don't know. That is a converse. Now it is like converting the black money to white money. So whether the business is going to give profit or not, they want to make it as a white. So the corrupt dealings, all these things will happen if the ruler is not a saintly person. So we cannot solve man's problem. So yeah, until the ruler being a spiritually elevated person. So here the examples has been given, even Lord Ramachandra Murthy. So like that, the land will be extremely happy if the ruler being a saintly king. If the ruler is not saintly, obviously the subjects will suffer. That is the only verdict we can take it up. And then how to mitigate this? How to mitigate this? Following the acharyas of a parampara and then performing devotional service, and our sampradaya being a preaching cult, making more and more people to get into the Krishna consciousness, speaking mouth to mouth, and then getting enrolled for the Bhagavad Gita classes, and then preaching, and then distribution of books, how much ever we are able to do. These are all the sevas which will help to progress. So at least to an extent we can maintain the dharmic things. Otherwise, we'll be more and more dwelling in the lower downgraded things, and then finally we'll end up coming back again as per our karmic reactions. Hare Krishna. So with this, I conclude today's class and then put forward for your realizations, or you want to speak on your, that is any, what you want to speak actually on this topic. So please come forward. Hare Krishna. Am I audible? I think everyone on mute. Hare
Yes,
Krishna.
Mataji, you're audible. Very beautiful class. I mean, it's really very good to listen every day morning to all the lectures, yourself, Mataji, Prakashji, everybody. Prem Prakash. Really nice.
Yes, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Everything is in his purport, and then only thing we have to read and make the habit of reading, realize it, apply it, make our environment also peaceful. So those who are not in Krishna conscious also in future they should come for Krishna conscious. So we should strive for that. Only we need to do the endeavor for that. Hare Krishna. If there are no questions, I will end the class. Thank you all for joining this morning class and giving the opportunity to serve Srila Prabhupada's mission. वाञ्छकल्पदारुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. अनंतकोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय. नामाचार्य हरिदास ठाकुर की जय. हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. हरे कृष्ण.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Krishna,
Pranam.
Mataji.